Far from the hustle and bustle, these towns stand alone, as if they were forgotten when the world entered the digital age. The population can be counted on fingers, cell phone signals are like ghosts. There but invisible, and a convenience store, maybe only one. But that's exactly what makes them interesting. Every town has a story. Some almost became ghost towns, some are still alive thanks to a legendary gas station, and others survive just because the people refuse to move away. Now, here are 15 of the most remote towns in North Dakota. Not just quiet, but also full of little surprises you won't find in big cities. First, there's Lidgerwood. This town was established in 1886, starting as a railroad stop. Its name comes from George Lidgerwood, a railroad agent who helped develop the area. Today, only about 600 people call this place home. Most of them are elderly residents enjoying retirement in a peaceful environment far from big city noise. Household income in Lidgerwood has slowly increased and now approaches $50,000 per year. One of the town's historical landmarks is the former St. Albans Church, with its distinctive Gothic Revival architecture. An old building still standing strong in the middle of town, as if guarding memories of the past. Nicknamed the Pride of the Prairie, Rutland stands quietly in the middle of North Dakota's prairie land. It officially became a town in 1908 after being founded in 1886. Rutland isn't large, home to only about 160 people, most of them elderly. But what makes it special isn't its size or facilities, but rather the warm atmosphere and close-knit relationships among the residents. In a town this small, every face feels familiar, every greeting sincere. Located in the northern plains of North Dakota, Mayville was founded in 1881 and named after May Arnold, the first baby girl born to a white settler family in the area. Today, Mayville is home to around 1,800 people, many of them students from Mayville State University, the educational heart of this town. With ultra-fast internet up to 10 gigabits and the title of North Dakota City of the Year in 2008, Mayville proves that small towns can also be progressive and proud places to grow. But if you want to feel the quieter side of North Dakota, almost like a scene from an old Western movie, head southwest. Rhame is located near the border with Montana, sitting at the far southwestern edge of the state. With only about 210 residents, Rhame feels like a world untouched by time. One main street, a few old buildings, and a wide sky dominating the view. All blend into a peaceful harmony. In the open plains of Sargent County stands Havana, a town with a population of no more than 70 people. But don't be fooled by its size. The median age of its residents is around 30 years old, and average household income is more than $100,000 per year, a number that would catch the attention of many big cities. Havana may be small, but it's clearly not an ordinary town. It's proof that strength and potential are sometimes hidden in the simplest places. The name of this town comes from R.H. Hankinson, a landowner and early North Dakota legislator who helped shape the Richland County area. Founded in 1886, Hankinson is located in the southeastern tip of the state, just a stone's throw from the South Dakota border. Although its population is only around 760 people and hasn't seen significant growth in recent decades, Hankinson lives at its own pace. Here, familiarity matters more than speed. Interestingly, In the quietness of this small town stands Dakota Magic Casino, one of the largest casinos in the state. This place serves as an entertainment hub and a driver of the local economy, making Hankinson a little different from other small towns slowly fading into silence. In southwestern North Dakota, Leith was once just a tiny spot that existed quietly. With fewer than 20 residents, this town moved slowly, calmly, and was nearly untouched. But everything changed a decade ago. An extremist from a white supremacist group tried to buy property in this town, sparking a strong reaction from the residents. National and international media arrived, spotlighting a town they had never heard of before. But Leith didn't stay silent. Its residents fought back. With simple courage, they kept the town theirs. Now, Leith is back to how it was, quiet. Old houses stand under wide skies, streets are empty, and time moves slowly, as if trying to close the wound that was once forcibly opened. Ambrose was born in 1906 as an important point on the Sioux Railway line. Like many other small towns in North Dakota, the railroad was its lifeline, a sign of life. The town was named to honor a railway worker who helped build it. In its heyday, Ambrose's population once exceeded 300 people. Businesses popped up, and the sound of train whistles filled the mornings. But time moved on, and life here began to fade. Now, only about 24 residents remain. No stores, no restaurants, no gas stations. Ambrose is like a portrait of a forgotten town, but in that forgotten state, it holds silent witnesses of a past once full of hope. Often called the Shadow City of Mayville, Portland stands side by side with it in Trail County. But make no mistake, Portland isn't just a dimmer twin. This town has its own character, calm, mature, and stable. With a population of about 570 people, most of the residents have lived here for a long time. The median age hits 52 years, showing that many have chosen Portland as a place to retire. Though it's small in size, this town holds a surprise. The average household income exceeds $100,000 per year, a very high figure for a rural town with no major shopping centers. Portland may not be busy, but it isn't behind. In 1920, Marmarth was once a bustling town, with more than 1,300 people coming and going. Of Ternau, only about 90 remain. Time has worn away its sparkle, but not completely erased its charm. Nicknamed the City Ease, Marmarth actually stands in the barren Badlands, a contrast that sparks curiosity. But the town's biggest appeal isn't its trees, but what's buried in its soil. Here, the fossil of Edmontosaurus dakota was found, one of the few dinosaur fossils with preserved soft tissue. This rare discovery gained worldwide attention, and since 1999, it has been continuously excavated by paleontologists like Tyler Lyson. Hamberg was born in 1910 from a unique compromise. German settlers wanted to name it Hamburg, while the Scandinavian group leaned toward Viking. The result? A middle ground, Hamburg. This small town stood along the Great Northern Railroad, living and growing with the rhythm of the trains. But like many other towns that depended on the rails, Hamburg started to fade as transportation routes shifted. By 2022, the population was down to 8 people. No businesses, no schools, no public services. The only school, once a gathering place and community spirit, was completely destroyed in a tragic fire in 2012. Since then, silence has been the background sound of Hamburg. The town feels frozen in time. Located on the 49th parallel line, Antler is the northernmost point of North Dakota. Its population is now only about 20 people, most of them elderly, with a median age of 63 years. Poverty rate, nearly 30%. In the 1980s, when the town school was about to close due to lack of students, the residents had a crazy but hopeful idea. They offered free land to young families, as long as they agreed to live in Antler for 5 years and enroll their children in the school. Unfortunately, even though it caught media attention, the program failed to save the school. In 1987, the school closed permanently. However, Antler still holds a big piece of history. The town once created the world's largest historical quilt, a giant 85 by 134 feet tapestry that represented every county in North Dakota. And in the distance, just a few miles from town, stands the silent nuclear missile silo of the 742D Missile Squadron. Quietly, Antler coexists with one of the most sensitive nuclear defense systems in America. In the 1930s, Cayuga was home to more than 200 people. The town slowly grew on the edge of the Wild Rice River and was once an important point on the railway map. But when the train line stopped operating, the town's pulse slowed down too. Even though the population shrank, Cayuga hasn't completely faded. Its per capita income is about $46,000 per year, and household income even reaches $70,000. But those statistics don't tell the whole story. Nearly a quarter of its residents live below the poverty line. Cayuga is a small town stuck between two worlds, between individual economic strength and unresolved structural inequality. With a population of around 1,600, Hillsboro might not stand out on the map, but this town has an aura bigger than its size. This is where Our Town Bakery stands, a small bakery in a church-style building known not only for its pastries, but also for its story. Run by a pastor's wife, the bakery was once called the cutest little bakery by travel media. But Hillsboro is not just about the sweet smell of bread. This town takes its historical heritage seriously. The Trail County Courthouse stands tall with its large dome, a statue of Abraham Lincoln, and neatly arranged gardens. On the streets, you can also find the symbol of the town's unique mascot, a burro, a little donkey that somehow became part of the local identity and is loved by the residents. And finally, there's Golva, located in western North Dakota, not far from the Montana border. Golva, a place that hasn't changed much since the train stopped coming. Founded in the early 1900s as a stop along the Northern Pacific Railway, Golva was once a distribution hub for local farmers. Now, its population is only about 60 people, and the atmosphere barely moves. The main street is quiet, stores are closed, and dry air surrounds the town almost year-round. But amid that silence, Golva holds on to one lasting pride, a small baseball field that used to be the center of community activity.